It's member-supported Hawaii Public Radio HPR1, All Things Considered, and I'm Dave Lawrence. Guitar legend Jimmie Vaughan, back in the state, former fabulous Thunderbird and Stevie Ray Vaughan's older brother, connected with All Things Considered to reflect on some island influence in his guitar passion and about his current tour of Hawaii. He's touring behind his latest album, Plays More Blues, Ballads, and Favorites with Luann Barton.
Well, I've got my band. If you've heard my last two records, Blues, Ballads, and Favorites, and then part two is called More Blues, Ballads, and Favorites. These are all songs that I loved when I was coming up. They were on the radio and they're popular and these favorite songs of mine, and I wanted to do them, and it's scary to do songs that you like when you're a kid, sometimes because you hold them high, and it's hard to beat the original. So anyway, I've got the band that I used on
those records.
Yes, and I've got Luann with me. She's on the records. I've got horn section, Doug James and Mike Renta on the trombone. I've got string bass, George Raines on the drums, Billy Horton on the bass, and rhythm guitar. So there's about 7 of us. So we're having a good time, and I love my band.
What's your background in terms of previous visits to the islands?
I've been here probably 3 or 4 times playing shows, a few times with the Fabulous Thunderbirds, a few times with my own band over the years. Also, I came here in the late 80s or the mid-80s sometime and took some steel guitar lessons from Jerry Bird, a fabulous steel guitarist in Honolulu. I was here about 3 months with him.
What inspired you to want to come out and study?
Well, I just really loved his records, and I love all the hula records and steel guitar records from the 40s and 50s mainly, and early 60s, and I love all that stuff. I've always been interested in it and just interested in how the steel guitar works and the music of the islands here. I came right to the source.
Yes, you did. And did it have a lasting impact on your playing or perception of how the island music fits into your influence?
Yes, it has, very much so. I always think that the music comes out of the ground. Like the blues is very similar to a lot of the Hawaiian kind of steel stuff, and the Hawaiian steel stuff had a big influence on the blues and the country and the music in the States. I've always been interested in how the music crosses over and everything. It's really all very similar. It's closer together than it is
far apart. Good point.
That's all very interesting to me. I just love all that. Like I say, I'm a big fan, and I have several records from late 40s, early 50s, all the way up to the early 60s of hula records, or what they called hula records. I don't know, just the whole Hawaiian steel guitar, Salahu PE, and all the stuff in between,
What a great story of how you started to play the guitar.
So, I started playing and kept playing ever since. That was when I was 12. And then I put it down, and then my little brother, I'm 4 years older than him, Stevie, would pick it up when I would put it down, and he watched me learn how to play, and I brought home the records and everything, so that's how he got started, too, because, little brothers want to do what big brothers do sometimes,
For the good and bad.
Yes. So I ran away from home when I was about 14, and I left him the guitar.
Critical moment, huh?
Yeah. I actually played here in Hawaii a couple of times with him.
Anything that sticks out?
I remember one time we played somewhere in Honolulu in a coliseum, and they had the car show going next door.
Okay.
So we all went to the car show. That was a lot of fun. I'm big into cars, hot rods and everything, and so I've got a lot of hot rod friends around the country. Put a little shout out to the hot rodders on the islands. I know there's a lot of them.
The show is tonight, the Matt Castle Theater on Maui, big Friday night show, Kauai Beach Resort, Saturday, the Kona Brewing Company.
All right, well, thank you for everything. This was great.
I'm giving you a big hug. I hope you feel it.
All right, I do. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Aloha is Jimmie Vaughan, and you're tuned to All Things Considered with my friend Dave Lawrence on statewide, member-supported Hawaii Public Radio.